dust and ash, time hangs still, a snake in glass. I know before it got a smoke, he gave me silence, then he spoke. Bow to the wheel that grinds your bones, kneel to the hollow throne. Chains like roots around my spine, faith and fear have been aligned. I saw the future, felt it blink, a godless mouth too wide to drag. This isn't life, it's looping code. Program sins that I don't own. I dream in static, choke on fate.
Oh, wow, that's great. I did a whole fucking half of the show with no sound. Thank you for Josh letting me know. We could start this over and I'll clip that out. Yeah. We talked about the Bloodline defeating the Seth Riders. That's what the opening match of the show was. Cardi B opened the show. I thought she would perform, but she didn't. And I guess that's a blessing for people who don't enjoy her music. I don't really listen to Cardi B, so I don't really know. I don't really know. I don't really know how to feel about that. I like that she gave me the extra time to get shit together in the beginning of the show. That extra 10 minutes, I could use that. But we got into what I thought was the best match of the night. We peaked early. Obviously, the most exciting segment of the night was the ending, but I thought the best overall match was this opening match. The Bloodline defeating the Seth Riders, Roman Reigns and Jey Uso out there. Roman having fun, showing a new side of himself. Not a new side, but a different side of the big dog. Enjoying his time with his cousin. Actually took the time to take a bullet for Jey Uso to end this match. He pushed him out of the way, took a spear, allowing Jey Uso to hit the Uso splash, hit that and pin Bronson Reed. God damn it, the Bronson Reed. Post match, Bron Breakker looked like he might have injured himself, but he came out later on, so I think he's fine. But he did have his leg wrapped, so that's something to check out. That's something to keep an eye on. Overall, though, wrestling-wise, I thought this was the match of the night. We peaked early. After this, the wrestling in ring, we went from 2 matches that were just short and you couldn't get into them to matches that were like sloppy and rough to matches that you ultimately didn't care about. And then, of course, the main event, which I have my own feelings about it. I saw some people calling it boring. I want to say why I disagree with that. And I know some people know how I feel about CM Punk, but I'm going to defend him tonight. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, opening match, the best wrestling match of the night, the Bloodline. Even though they didn't call him that, but the Bloodline gets the win. After that, we had the Women's Tag Team Championship. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss defeating the Judgment Day, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, to take the titles. This was the way to go. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of this storyline personally. I think that the segments are cringe, but I want to say, like, I understand. I'm not like, check this off my TV. I really understand the purpose of Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. Charlotte was getting booed earlier in the year, and they were trying to turn her babyface, but it wasn't working, and it started hurting her feelings for real. It started affecting her mental health. So this Alexa Bliss, Are We Friends storyline has fucking worked wonders. The crowd flipped on her immediately. They love Charlotte now. They love this Charlotte Alexa Bliss storyline. So, of course, if you turn her heel now, then you fucking go against everything you just worked towards the past few months. She had to win the title here with Alexa Bliss, or at least get screwed over. And they had to come out the other side friends so that people can care about them again. Care about Charlotte again. I feel like people care about Alexa Bliss no matter what. She's just one of those that has a connection with the crowd. Again, regardless of my personal feelings, both of them. I like Charlotte as a wrestler. I love Charlotte as a wrestler. I think that she's like the greatest thing that ever come from the PC. But like my opinion, she came from like her Ric Flair's her father, yes, but she also didn't know how to fucking wrestle. She went into the PC as an adult, carrying her brother's dream on her back, a dream that like people like wrestling fans that grow up into wrestlers, they spend their whole life studying tape and shit. She didn't even have that, and she developed into one of the better women's wrestlers in the world. So I think I should say that I really enjoy Charlotte, but this storyline, I was like, fuck, this is really cringe. But yeah, so Charlotte and Alexa Bliss are the tag team champions, and that's that. Good for them. We follow that with Sami Zayn defeating Karrion Kross in 8 minutes. Decisively, quickly, without a fucking question. I said Sami Zayn. Excuse me. Sami Zayn. YN, and I'll get that fixed in a second. I think that I don't know. Everybody came to the obvious conclusion that this was so abrupt that it felt like WWE's not picking Karrion Kross back up. His contract is coming up. They don't seem to care what the fans are saying. Like they were chanting, "We want Kross" at Triple H directly at the post show, and he was just like, "No selling the shit out of it." So we'll see what happens with that. Sami Zayn, Scarlett offers Sami Zayn the pipe that Karrion Kross cheated and beat him with previously, and Sami Zayn declines it, throws it out, and gets the win. Complete subversion of that normal wrestling trope. I was like, oh shit, okay. Sami Zayn gets the win. Karrion Kross fans are furious. They're calling Sami Zayn boring. They're saying Sami Zayn. They call him Sammy Hogan. What the fuck? What a fucking bizarre world do I live in? It's just crazy to me. But I don't know. It screams to me that maybe WWE isn't picking Karrion Kross back up, or maybe they're gonna do some kind of storyline with him where they act like they don't pick him back up, and then they build some real support for him to get back in the company, and then do some maybe pop off something much larger. Though, if you look at R-Truth and how that happened and how he's not on TV anymore, I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see. But this wasn't good for Karrion Kross. I was like, oh shit. I'm not even a Karrion Kross fan. I was just very surprised at how definite. Like, oh, he went through all of that and he was wrong. And there's no development for Sami Zayn here. So one part of me says, what's the point? But yeah, that was that. 8 minutes. Not much to talk about wrestling wise. More to speculate on when it comes to Karrion. We will see though. I'd like to give a shout out to our boy Greg from Thirsty Radio, who is at SummerSlam and gave us this beautiful backdrop, by the way. Shout out to him. Thanks for looking out. But we had the women's championship match. Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton. Oh no, before that we had a tribute to Hulk Hogan. Excuse me. The fourth tribute to Hulk Hogan this week. I understand why. Like I get it. Trust me when I say I understand the significance. My personal feelings are what they are. But that happened. That was there. And so we had the women's championship match after that. Jade Cargill rocking this beautiful Jamaican flag themed gear that she had on for her entrance. I thought I had a photo of that. I do. There it is. Boom. A storm is coming. She looked great. She looked fucking great. I thought this was her night. For sure. I thought this was her night. And let me say this. This match was rough. I don't know. And in some ways it was rough and it was entertaining. Like this is crazy right here. Jade stuck her feet straight up. And Tiffany, and she was like no give on her knees. And Tiffany comes and gets and just bounces off of her fucking Jade's feet here. It was horrible. It was like horrifying. Like, ow, like that's not how that's supposed to go. But there were certain instances like that in the match where it was like rough. Jade was like too tall for Tiffany to do her cartwheel Alabama slam deal. She knocked Tiffy loopy. Yeah, there was a point where Tiffy looked like she looked fucked. She looked out. She looked like she was out of it. And like I said, that might have happened before she tried to go for that cartwheel because she couldn't even get Jade all the way up. And when she tried to do it, she couldn't even get momentum. Jade like fell on her ass. But yeah, Chris talking about the Karrion Kross match, pointless match I've ever seen. Kross needs to go to AEW. Shit's wild. They wouldn't give him the win. As an AEW fan, I personally would not want to see Karrion Kross, but he's got a lot of fans right now, and I imagine that Tony will pick him up just based off of groundswell like that. It is what that is. But I thought for sure this was going to be Jade Cargill's night, and no, Tiffany Stratton gets the fucking win. Holy shit! Okay, Triple H, I mean, Tiffany's over as fuck right now too. I thought like, even though I thought Jade was going to win, I didn't think it would have been good for Tiffany to be floating and doing nothing now. I think though you could probably do something more with Jade now. You can probably give her an actual WWE character. She don't got no real character here in WWE. She's just like smiling and happy to be here. And a girl, a woman with that kind of aura and it factor should be probably being a heel and expressing herself more and setting things up with more babyface wrestlers. But we'll see how that goes for Jade Cargill. At the end of the day, she probably has a decent amount of time left in WWE, but we'll see. She's got a movie coming soon. She's shooting with Jonathan Majors, so who knows? That could have factored in. But yeah, no. So we followed that up with Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton and Jelly Roll. I think we all know how everyone felt like wrestlers and RVD and fans about Logan Paul and Jelly Roll being involved in this. I mean, it's WWE, so I'm never like confused about what's going on. I'm never surprised. They have celebrities every single fucking year. They're just different. You can't complain every time they come on like and be confused. Like, oh no. But it's funny as fuck when Kenny Omega said that soon you're gonna see Mr. Beast versus Logan Paul in the main event of WrestleMania. I don't think he knew that 2 months later it would come to pass, except with Jelly Roll and at SummerSlam. That being said, let's talk about Jelly Roll's performance. He goes out there and he does moves, and fucking Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul are bumping and doing doing exactly what you should do for a person that doesn't know how to wrestle. This is how Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul would wrestle for like late era Ric Flair. Like any other WWE legends that come in and just do shit, this is exactly the kind of match you would have had, except that Jelly Roll was bigger and a little bit more durable, so you can do more things back. They beat the shit out of him. Logan Paul hit this splash from the turnbuckle through the table, and he looked like he obliterated Jelly Bean. I think Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll looked up at him and just right like last minute, like looked up and just ate all that shit. To the point where I thought I actually bought for a second when the medical came over, like, is he actually hurt? But no, he was fine. He was okay. The end of the match comes when Jelly Bean gets back into Jelly Roll. Why do I keep calling him Jelly Bean? Jesus Christ. I swear I'm not trying to be a dick. Jelly Roll, who, by the way, I thought this guy was a rapper. I listen to rap, but hip hop, like R&B, like urban music. I just thought he was a rapper that I never heard of, like from that side of the world. I didn't know he was like a singer. Like, anyway, that was an aside. So he gets back in the match, and they hit him with I had this collage downloaded. Where the hell did it go? This fucking thing. Anyway, I'll just give you this ugly picture of him I got here. Jelly Roll hits a choke slam on Logan Paul. Hits a black roll slam because he's Jelly Roll. Fucking kill me on Drew McIntyre, and then Logan Paul fucking pins Drew Jelly Roll. Fuck that. This match kind of was what it was. Like I said, this show by this point had been. People were saying it was bad, but this is how I see all the WWE shows. It was fine. Like, it was just average. Like, it was an average WWE show, and I think that's why they were saying it's bad. To me, I saw an average WWE show, and to them, this is SummerSlam. It's supposed to be more than that. So I get that, and if that's where you're coming from, I understand that. By this point, I was like, yeah, man, let's get to that fucking main event because that's what we're here for. And now this is where my opinion splits with the general public. People call this match boring. CM Punk versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. They said it was boring. I thought they told a pretty clear story of an older wrestler, CM Punk, who why are my pictures mixed up? Who couldn't keep up with Gunther, got his ass beat the whole match until Gunther got cocky at the end. And then CM Punk was able to take advantage and get the win. It was like the most simple wrestling story in the world. Maybe it dragged too long. Maybe because of the weight, maybe because I'm like, fuck CM Punk. I enjoyed seeing Gunther beat the shit out of him for 20 minutes. That was good for me. Was it good for you? That was good for me. Beat the shit out. You beat the shit out of CM Punk. He chopped him to fucking ground beef. Punk is bleeding from the chest. Shoot. Not even like, Jericho did the blade chest thing and he was like bleeding all over his chest. That's cool too. If they had done that, I'd be fine with that. Punk fucking chopped open. Great shit. I love that they beat the shit out of Punk until Gunther was so confident that he could win because he was going to win. He was going to win. So he stood up on the table like Drew fucking McIntyre at WrestleMania. Stood up at the table and ended up getting swept. And when he gets swept, he falls on his head. He sells it great because I didn't know that's what he was. I didn't know he was going to go under the table and blade at SummerSlam. Let's fucking go. Let's go. I'm down. And he hit that shit. He hit that shit. Like he was fucking my son. My son saw Gunther under the table and he saw blood already dripping. And he was like, oh shit, he's bleeding under there. I was like, holy shit, you're right. He comes up and now Punk is like, oh, it's in his eyes. And this is part of the story. So I was like, wow, this is great. This is great storytelling. It was slow, though. And I don't think it ever got into second gear before they told that part of the story. And if that's the case, if that's what you have a problem with, then I agree with you. It was probably a second gear to be had there right before they busted Gunther open. Like, or maybe, but I don't know. The story was that Gunther was dominant until he wasn't. And then CM Punk quickly took advantage and he becomes the champion. CM Punk, world heavyweight champion for the first time in WWE in over a decade. What a great, beautiful moment. And this is where I'm going to say maybe it was predictable. Maybe it wouldn't have been predictable if we hadn't gotten a report. And I don't know how you guys feel about that. Maybe let me know in the comments. So Seth Rollins gets injured, quote unquote, at Saturday night's main event. WWE had even told, like, people who work in the company were told straight up, Rollins is hurt. LA Knight was supposed to win. They went through the effort of formatting LA Knight to win, only telling Rollins and LA Knight that this would be happening. Working the boys in the back, except for one person who was suspicious and put it out to Joe Pollock of the post wrestling and put it out to Meltzer. And they put out that people were suspicious of the injury. And when that happened, fans started going, whoa, well then Rollins is SummerSlam. So I posit, I say that if this report hadn't happened, you guys would not have suspected Rollins. I wouldn't have suspected Rollins. I wouldn't have. I would have got suspicious when they announced Punk versus Gunther as the main event and not Roman and Jey. I would have probably been like, And then, but I wouldn't have known for sure. And then now that brings the question, should it have been reported? Right? I can only think of it as if it was me. This is coming out and it's going to multiple people, right? It's going to Joe from Post Wrestling. It's going to Dave Meltzer. It's going to Sean Ross Sapp. You choosing not to report it doesn't stop it from going out. So at the end of the day, all you did was hurt your own income. I don't know that it makes sense to say it shouldn't have been reported. I think what you should be saying is, how the fuck did it get out? And maybe they should be trying harder to plug that leak. But it's just been a problem in wrestling for this. Not even a problem. This is the way wrestling works for the last 40 years. This is Dave Meltzer himself started a damn wrestling journalism peripheral business that exists now. It's just something that happens. My thing is, would it have been predictable if that didn't happen? I don't know. I don't think it would have. I think it would have been an even bigger surprise. But that being said, even though we knew, it was still a fucking incredible angle. It was an incredible moment. It was awesome. Punk is sitting there and he's celebrating his win for the first time in 10 years. He's got the world championship. Oh my God, it's amazing. And fucking Seth Rollins comes out and he's playing it off like, I'll see you. I'm still lurking. And then he drops the fucking crutches. And everybody goes crazy. And people are screaming at their TV, Punk, run! Don't stand there! Don't stand there! And unfortunately, no wrestling champion in the history of this company has ever actually run away at that moment. I could be wrong. I'm sure there's a heel somewhere that said fuck off and ran off. But Rollins busts Punk over the fucking head with the briefcase over and over and over and over again. Curb stomp. 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins is the world champion. CM Punk's dream is dead. And Seth Rollins promised us that he would never let this man be happy in WWE as long as he breathes. And good God damn it, that man was not telling a lie. Seth Rollins, the world heavyweight champion. I love this shit. I love this. I love this. And this isn't even like, oh, because I hate CM Punk. Because that don't even make sense. Like, this was a successful angle for him, too. Him and Rollins successfully pulled this off together. I just loved it. It was from the effort that they went through to fake an injury fucking to the wrestlers in the back. And historically, that's not always been a good idea, but we'll see what happens. I'm sure that people in the back were okay with this. The problem is that it creates an environment of distrust. Maybe. Psychologically, I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. That's just something to think about. But to go through the effort of working the people in the back, I love wrestling when they put effort into it. I have a great time. I loved this. Rollins is the world champion. Now, of course, there is the caveat that is CM Punk and Seth Rollins again. Good Lord. They're still running this. But I guess like what else can they do? Well, I mean, truly, in a WWE environment, there's only one way this can end, right? Hell in a Cell. CM Punk and Seth Rollins. He's gonna have to outdo his Drew McIntyre performance, though. And it's kind of crazy to think about CM Punk at this age as a guy that they're expecting to have back-to-back brutal Hell in a Cells. Like, is Triple H getting his revenge for all those years of conflict with Punk? Trust me, Punk, this is great storytelling. It's just gonna kill you. Shit. Listen, great fucking angle to close the show. It left me with a great taste in my mouth. I'm really I'm excited to continue SummerSlam, and we'll see what night 2 is like. If I had a match of the night, the match of the night is going to be the opening match: Roman Reigns and Jey Uso defeating Seth Rollins' group, nameless group, the new alliance, the new deadly alliance, the Bronze. Opening match was great. Just been match of the night. And I didn't hate CM Punk versus Gunther the way some of you did. I actually really enjoyed that. And of course the post-match angle. Fucking hell. Fucking A. Karrion Kross is probably going to be my jobber of the night, unfortunately. Karrion Kross. 8 minutes with Sami Zayn. And then pinned and sent away. Like almost. It almost feels like he's gone. And of course, I am a little suspicious of that too. Considering like the groundswell he's had for months leading into this. It's been since before WrestleMania, right? That people have been getting behind Karrion Kross this year and asking like, why isn't he on TV? Why isn't he on TV? And it sort of felt like they were building up. And then reports came out that Karrion Kross's contract is coming up, but he hasn't been spoken to yet. That doesn't make any sense in this context. John Jr. saying, if I speak on Gunther and Punk, I will be in big trouble. Hey, listen, I get it, man. Sometimes some slow wrestling like that, it just doesn't hit for everybody. And I just like seeing CM Punk get chopped to dust. I just really like seeing him get beat up by Gunther. That was fun. I said when people were talking about they should do Gunther versus CM Punk at Survivor Series, I said Gunther should beat the shit out of him and chop him into dust. And he basically beat the shit out of him and chopped him into dust so well that he stood up on the table celebrating before he even got a chance to win. And so they threw his ass. But anyway, match of the night, opening, jobber of the night, Karrion Kross, superstar of the night, Seth Rollins. Oh, you manipulative piece of shit, you liar. I love you. That was great. That was fucking great. Thank you for doing that. Incredible stuff. I loved it. Anyway, listen, that's SummerSlam night 1. I had a great time with this. It was a decent show, man. I really like watching wrestling all the time. That's why I'd be like, man, I had a great time. I just like watching wrestling. Like, even when it sucks, I gotta be sitting with my son and we just be watching wrestling. It's just, but objectively, this show was kind of mid. Unfortunately, just had some great moments that we'll take with us. We'll see how night 2 goes. John Cena and Cody Rhodes. We got the triple threat for the women's championship. I don't have the card in front of me. I fucked up. I forgot that I should do like predictions for tomorrow, but I'm not because we'll just be here tomorrow night. Well, we're gonna be here. Don't worry about it. I'll be right with you. We'll be here together, unless I die unexpectedly, in which case we'll do a memorial stream with everyone else. But it's WWE SummerSlam night 1. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
This concludes our broadcast day. Good night, and God bless
the sport of professional wrestling.